What do you think is important about free software?
I guess being able to share freedom. Yeah, I think that's important.
Yeah, I think the openness, the transparency is really important. Having the ability to go in and fix bugs and not have to wait around for some proprietary software vendor is important. The ability to modify and change the code if you want. It's about freedom, really.
I think that the most important thing about free software being free is actually an ethical concern and a concern about the way that people consider the world that they live in. The idea that something that completely and totally governs our lives is not something that we have control over is a really scary prospect to me. And I think that having a free alternative to any piece of technology out there where you can hack it, you can do whatever you want with it. If you paid for it, it really truly belongs to you is important. And I think that's important as a social paradigm, and that's even more important as a social paradigm than it is as a paradigm for technology.
Security?
I think a lot of companies like Microsoft and Apple take advantage of users' ignorance over the technology that they use, and free software encourages learning and freedom, and I really think that's really important.
Everybody can use it also later, I think, yeah. So no company can say until we don't use it anymore.
That it is future-proof, that you know it's still going to be there in the future because that's how the licenses work. You know that it's not going to just be taken away from you the way that proprietary software can be.
I think it's important that we give power to people and give people the tools that they need so that they can learn things themselves.
It's also very important for developing nations and underprivileged communities that have traditionally not had access to technology, and that really, if without free software, they probably would continue to not have access that they're just now beginning to gain from that.
I do think it's important. I think that people, I'm a huge advocate for people, I'm in the healthcare industry, so I think it's really important for people to have opportunities and choices whether it comes to insurance or not. So if you kind of apply that to open source software, I think people should have access, know what they're dealing with, be able to change things that they don't like instead of being forced into complying with something that, like Windows, for example, you have to comply with what they give you. You take what you get, which is kind of like the healthcare system. You take what you get.
It's a great first step for someone coming to the idea of free content and what can I do, what does freedom mean to me. And I think it's inspired a lot of people, the Creative Commons people and me, to think about what other kinds of parts of society can benefit from this sort of idea. So it's important as like the flagship for something bigger even than it.
It enables just a much more kind of collaborative development environment and just even a collaborative just kind of computing environments in general. I don't know, I feel like it's changing the world.